Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. And we are broadcasting from our Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. And my name is Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio, and we are joined today by Jeannie Krieger from the Chamber and Thomas Kislett with the Chamber. And Thomas, I know you want to go around the Zoom room here and introduce our guest. Would you be so kind, please, sir?
Yes, absolutely. We have Billy Newby with Newby Vineyards, and he's opening a wine tasting room on Broad Street soon. We have Allison Dunn with McAlister's Deli. Welcome to Rome, Allison. And then we have the Mr. Fix-It crew here with Eliud, right? And Jay. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. So we're here to celebrate business and celebrate small businesses and let people share their stories. I guess let's just kind of go around here quickly and maybe start with you, Allison, at McAlister's Deli. Tell us, how is it going at East Bend?
It's going great. We've had a great time with the community, still a ton of business, happy to have it. And it's been more than our highest expectations. We've killed our opening records. Wow.
And how long? You've only been open briefly. So when did this start?
Our first day open for business was December 21st. So we were a glutton for punishment a little bit, doing it through the holidays for sure. It's made for some interesting numbers and sales for the next couple of weeks, but things are settling down finally. And we are beginning the launch of our catering. We actually cater lunch for St. Mary's and Unity Christian School twice a month, each one. So that was a huge kickoff for our catering business.
And not only did you start during the holidays, but still in a pandemic, which has obviously affected the restaurant business. We'll circle back around with that. All right, let's visit here. Hey, Mr. Fix-It Construction, Eliud and Jay, how are you guys?
Pretty good. Doing great.
All right, and tell us a little bit about your business and when you got started and things like that.
Yeah, so our story is one that started a really long time ago, separately doing construction, repair, those types of things. But recently, we've been working together on Hey, Mr. Fix-It for 2 years now. Separately, we've got over 30 years of work in maintenance and repair. Eliud used to work at Harbin, and I've got several rental properties, and I manage rental properties for people as well. So that's kind of what started our business, working together on those types of things. And we just saw a niche that people need someone to take care of those smaller projects. We're not going to build a house. We're not going to add a 500 square feet onto your house, but we can replace a fixture, do flooring, painting, clean your gutters. We're basically the one-stop shop for all of the things the big guys don't want to do.
You're also the one-stop shop for people like me who try to do it themselves and electrocute themselves, or the paint looks not as good as I thought it was going to.
Yeah, we tend to do a lot of fixes of homeowners that they try to do. So, and that's fine. We don't pick on anybody. We just go in there and get it done.
You do fixes of my fixes. Thank you. Yeah, that's the way to go. All right. We've also got Bill Newby here from Newby Vineyards. So, Bill, how hard is it to avoid drinking the profits? Oh, you're muted, Bill. Please unmute there. Thank you. So now I'll try my joke again. How hard is it to avoid drinking the profits?
I don't drink that much. It's my wife that gets into the profits. But no, I joke and say I barely qualify as a drinking Baptist. So,
well, tell us about this vision. Well, Bill's got a lot of his own jokes. He beat me to the punch. Tell us about this vision to have a vineyard here in our area.
Well, I moved back to Rome in 2012, and the property had been in the family for years, and never really had anything on it but a few horses and some goats. And well, around 2013, I was like, well, let's plant something. So we did blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. And then when they actually started producing, I realized what a pain it was because they got to be picked every day for about a 6-week period. So we put in a half acre of grapevines in 15 just to see. And then somebody said, well, you need to join the Georgia Wine Grower Association. So I did that and wound up hiring a viticulturalist. And in 17, we planted another 4 acres. So the hobby just kind of went out of control. And from there, it's now you got grapes. There's really selling grapes, unless you do it on a big scale, the effort is not worth the reward. So the next logical thing is, okay, you start a winery and do a value add and increase the profit margins and truly make it worth your time and effort. And now here, hopefully soon, awaiting one last permit, we will open the tasting room downtown. And then in the meantime, we will begin construction on a new production facility at the farm and another tasting area there on site too in the fields.
Those pesky permits. We got to take care of that. So Jeannie, we've got a very diverse group of different businesses here. I guess that's the whole point is,
absolutely, Roger. It's, heartening to see these businesses, begin, in a pandemic. I think they're all very hardworking and brave and courageous, and just the value that they bring to our community is tremendous. And, along with our other business, we have 900 members of the chamber businesses. And, each of these folks bring something to the table that we're lacking. There's either a service or a product or, an entity that we haven't had before. And so it's great to have that here and for us to support them in their efforts by promoting and advocating, but also connecting to, folks that they need. For Billy and I, it's been fun to be kind of on the front end of hearing his plans and going through the process a little bit with him and being of help and assistance as he's needed. And so, that's what we're all about. But you're right. It's for a community, it's important to have, different products and services to serve the entire citizen community.
And Allison at McAlister's Deli, obviously it's a unique challenge opening during the pandemic. But you said business has been great out of the gate. Are we slowly kind of maybe hopefully getting back to normal, people learning how to navigate through it and still get food service and things like that?
Hopefully. Mcallisters really was such a forward-thinking company. It really got ahead of the curve. They kind of saw the way things were going and implemented this massive push to have these pickup windows in all of our restaurants. So you can order online, you can call in and order, and we have the curbside pickup where you just drive around, you pick it up. And so that's been huge for us. That takeout and pickup window accounts for about 63% of our business. So that's actually huge, right? We did make the decision to go ahead and open with the full dining room. I have a great staff, so I'm amazed and incredibly grateful with all of their hard work for making sure they keep the Rome community safe as far as the sanitation procedures that we have in place. Honestly, once we opened our doors, it wasn't such a big deal dealing with the pandemic. But I will tell you that getting the restaurant built with the pandemic was probably the harder of the two. Getting the permits, getting the construction people, getting the contractors. That was a nightmare, and it delayed our opening by a good 6 months.
What attracted McAlister's to Rome and East Bend?
So McAlister's is really choosy. It's not really easy to get a McAlister's franchise. So the franchise owners are, again, very, very forward-thinking people. Sorry, somebody just dropped a bunch of dishes.
Hey, the live audio from a restaurant. I'm glad to hear the hustle. I'm glad to hear the hustle and bustle of a restaurant.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. But Rome has a really awesome, unique demographic that McAlister's likes. The median household income here is exactly what McAlister's wants. The demographics of women to men is exactly what McAlister's is looking for. And the fact that it's kind of what you would consider an isolated community, meaning that you're about 20 miles from your bigger cities, Calhoun, Dalton, Cartersville, Carrollton, all those are about 20 miles away. And McAlister's has a rule that you can't have a McAlister's within 20 miles of another one. So this was a really neat untapped market for this particular franchise. And Rome likes to eat. So we like that too. And then you also that Rome is, I think, was the third largest Dr. Pepper consumer in the entire country. So like those are just interesting little things.
Wow. I'm guessing there's Dr. Pepper on tap at McAlister's. If you doing that research. Well, I like to eat. Eliud, Jay, you guys like to eat?
Oh, we love to eat.
We can work out a tray. Come on over. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I need fixed already because they break everything.
That's actually another thing I was going to say is if you guys need any restaurant commercial repair, we've done a lot of that as well for local restaurants. You probably won't need any for about 15 years, though.
Well, they already broke the commercial toaster. They've ripped a couple screws and shelving out of the wall already, so probably not. Actually, teenagers are really destructive.
Give us a call. Yeah, we were just at another restaurant this past week, and we did so well with the Rome location that they sent us down to their Cartersville location. So that's where the guys are today.
Eliud and Jay, what is y'all? You mentioned y'all had a tremendous amount of experience, but are you Rome natives? What made you think, let's take the leap and do this ourselves here in Rome?
I'm personally not a Rome native, as you can clearly hear. Yeah. I'm originally from Kenya, and that's in East Africa. So when I came here in 2009, I met with Jay, and we were just going around doing stuff here and there, and we were kind of clicked, and we both liked to fix stuff. And before we know, we were here starting a business and moving on.
Eliud, I know exactly where Kenya is. I've actually been there.
Oh, awesome.
I went on a church mission trip about 10 years ago. So when you said East Africa, I'm like, I've been there. Been to Tanzania. It's great. Bill,
yes, sir.
At the Vineyard, what has been your learning curve? Did you have an experience in vineyards or perhaps wine tasting?
No, well, horticulture, yes. I had a landscape company that I started when I was really young, and then I sold that company in 95. And I actually went to Barry for a little while as a horticulture major. So I did have some background in plants. Of course, while I was there, I took an ag commodities trading class and wound up changing my major to finance. And that's how I wound up with my main business being a financial planning firm here, Newby Wealth Management. So I had a background there, and I guess I don't deal well having free time, so I needed something to fill up all the other time that the regular job and my kids weren't taking. So.
Well, you mentioned it kind of started as a hobby, and then you started planting more grapes. But what is and you mentioned the statewide association. So how big is the vineyard business in the state of Georgia?
It's in excess of $1 billion industry here in the state now. So it has grown. People don't realize it, but prior to Prohibition, just in Carroll County, there was over 20,000 acres of grapevines prior to Prohibition, just in Carroll County alone. So it's growing. This past year through the pandemic has been an absolute record year for sales of wine in Georgia for the Georgia wineries. So it's kind of stung a little bit. I haven't been able to have the product out there. And granted, our tasting room will be downtown. So right now my capacity is at 99 on the building, and currently my space, I have seating for about 60, and we won't increase that until the pandemic passes. But out at the farm, we will have, the capacity could be 200-300 easy.
So your business model, you grow the grapes, you harvest the grapes. Just please walk me through it. Do you sell the grapes to somebody else to bottle, or are you bottling them? And then, or where can people buy a bottle, or do they need to come to the tasting rooms?
No, every bit of it happens here in Floyd County.
Okay.
The grapes are grown. Friends, family. Tom is an expert grape picker and pressure washer operator. He's been out, him and his wife, and Theo have been over a number of times to help out. But no, everything happens here. The vines are grown, harvested. We've set up a facility and a building already had to do the production. Now we haven't bottled yet. We're waiting on that last little thing from the state. So hopefully that'll be here shortly. The barrels that I've used, the ones that do go in those barrels, were built by Cooperage in Gainesville, Georgia, Gainesville Cooperage, and they have Lee from Gainesville Cooperage has also came out. And we have white oak trees that are marked to be cut down and milled into staves to even have our barrels come from Floyd County.
Okay. Shop Floyd, shop local, shop Rome.
Yep.
So Thomas, what is your expertise in this? You just
in wine?
Yes.
I'm the connoisseur. No, just grateful for Billy's vision there to bring wine to this area. Something that I was never heard of, and we are really stoked to have his tasting room open on Broad Street. And it'll be a great asset.
And I know you're waiting on permits, Bill, but when do we expect this? Hopefully,
I'm hoping within the next few weeks. I was hoping by the end of January. I don't think that's going to happen. So keeping our fingers crossed, we're open sometime in February, preferably before I have to start pruning 3,000 grapevines the last week of February.
And now, just speaking of when people are open, McAlister's Deli, what are your hours? And I'm assuming you do, because of the pandemic, you mentioned drive-through, but curbside and all of that. What are your available hours and your dining room hours, things like that?
At the moment, we're open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. However, we are going to change that beginning February 1st to be open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We really had hoped to draw a little bit more of the college kids over here. We have free Wi-Fi. We have at our community table built-in charging ports for any mobile devices. But we just haven't seen the late night crowd that we want. And it costs me about $300 per hour to keep the restaurant staffed. So that between 9 and 10, we only do about $83 worth of business on average a day isn't going to make that function. So at least for right now, we're going to close at 9, and then hopefully in the summertime, when people can take use of our 300 square foot patio space and things like that, that we may be able to stay open longer. But third-party deliveries, which is like your Grubhub and your DoorDash and your online ordering, that typically ends 30 minutes before close. So that's going to be around 8:30 starting February 1st, or obviously 9:30 at the moment.
Well, and that was the other thing.
Monday through Sunday.
Okay. And you touched on this, and I wanted to ask, but the size of your patio is that's a pretty decent sized patio that when the spring gets here in the summer and hopefully the pandemic is gone, that's a great place to hang out.
We're really hoping, and of course we're also pet friendly, not just for service dogs, but we have our own little mats with dog bowls and things like that out there for water. And we're more than happy to take care of any of your four-legged and furry friends that you would like to bring and join us. And I had a question for Mr. Newby. My franchise owner happened to walk by and hear you mention wine, and he wants to know if you have ice wine.
No, it's rare that we would get a frozen grape here in Georgia, and ours are off the vine by the end of by mid-August. Typically, they're off. So if we did an ice wine, it'd be one where I'd have to actually take the grapes and force freeze them in a freezer, and so it wouldn't be a true ice wine. Those typically they wait until it freeze. The grapes are hanging on the vines, and they pick them frozen.
So as a person with horticulture experience, is obviously, because you've done this, the climate here is great for this. Because typically we think of California or whatever. So what is your planting season, harvesting season, growing season for the ideal grape?
Typically, well, we're planting, ours are hybrids. We have to contend with Pierce's disease, which is some view it as a hardening of the artery in a human. The vines just can't get the nutrients up. So we plant hybrids. I have 5 of them planted right now. Blanc de Bois, Villard Blanc, Lenoir, Chamberson, and America. The America is not doing well. The Pierce's disease is hitting it. I'm limping it along this year. I have a new vine ordered that is a 97% Cab Sav vine, but they won't be in my hands until spring of 22. So we'll rip out the Americas at that point and replace them with a vine that's supposed to be much more hardy. Now, harvest, typically we'll start monitoring first, second week of July for the Brix level and pH. And when those numbers get 20 to 21 on the Brix, which is the sugar content, we'll go ahead and set the date for that upcoming weekend to pick the grapes at that point. Late July and into mid-August.
And is that where Thomas is that where Thomas comes in to help pick grapes?
Oh yeah, yep.
Thomas
he'll get promoted to a supervisor maybe this upcoming year.
Thomas has a wide skill set. Eliud, what is the biggest headache in what you guys do? Is it trying to just get your name out there? Do you rely on word of mouth? How do you guys maybe market your business there at Hey Mr. Fix-It Construction?
We have our website, heymrfixit.com. That's one that I can say it has really helped us. And we also partner with a third-party company that does reviews for us. So once we get those reviews from them, we put it on our website, and people kind of get to see exactly how we work. Are we on time? Are we reliable people? And that has really sold us out there.
And how has the chamber helped you?
We actually, I think we're about 2 weeks since we.
Oh, okay.
And I can say we've gotten a couple of jobs from the chamber. We had a radio interview on Monday, and it's really turning out great for us.
Oh, good. Well, we love hearing that. Hopefully this podcast will help you out as well. Just get the name out there. Jeannie, that's got to be good to hear.
Great to hear. And, there's such a need for what they do here in Rome and Floyd County. We hear it a lot. We get calls. And so, we always refer back our members and businesses, in Rome and Floyd County. So it's just a great two-way partnership. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Eliud, it's I don't mean to, sometimes it's just hard to find somebody good that you trust in your line. You know what I mean? Yes. You're letting somebody come into your house and do work. And so, but you guys pride yourself on that, correct?
Yes, we do. We have that's really hard, because every time somebody calls us, it's like, hey, I had these guys come here and they didn't do well. But, we because the kind of jobs we do is something that it's not worth for somebody to call in their job. So they just want to leave you the key to the house and just go to work and come back and stuff has been fixed. So we've been able to kind of pride ourselves on that, we're trustworthy. People can live up to their stuff and they, get everything the way it was. So, our reliability and trust has really given us a name. Well,
and quality of work is the kind of thing that you're in the kind of industry where word of mouth would be very important. Somebody has a great experience, they'll share that with their friends and neighbors.
Yes.
So Allison, what have been some of your maybe unexpected headaches? You got your standard opening headaches. What other obstacles maybe have you guys had to jump through, or hurdles you've had to jump over?
Staffing is always going to be a problem in the restaurant industry kind of thing. But interestingly enough, we've had a great associate level staff. The Floyd County has a great group of a great talent pool to pull from. However, the mid-management and up staffing and catering staffing has actually been really difficult to find for us. Surprisingly so, like really surprisingly hard. That's been a big one for us.
Okay, so are you still hiring? Are you as a restaurant basically constantly hiring because of turnover, or are you still hiring because you're new?
No, actually, we opened with well over what Mcallisters required us to open with. We wanted to make sure, because Mcallisters is all about guest satisfaction. You know, we pride ourselves in offering each and every guest a little something extra, and so in order to do that, the best way to do that is people and staff and all of those things. So we open with a little bit more. Our franchise owners have a very unique vision for this restaurant. But that said, we have such a good staff. We don't do much turnover. We have about a 10% turnover rate, which is almost unheard of in the restaurant industry. Typically, it's about 130% per quarter. So we're ahead of that curve a lot. Yes. But we are definitely hiring at the management level. And we need an AGM or two, and we need a catering coordinator, a management position as well. And then we also are opening more restaurants. We break ground on Athens February 1st. So we need more for them too. We need to train them here. So we're running out of people to do that.
Gotcha. What, and just to touch on it briefly, typical deli fare. What's the menu?
We actually have 27 different gourmet deli sandwiches that we offer, along with our literally giant baked potatoes. They're huge. We're known for those. Of course, our sweet tea. It's like a hug in a glass. We have 26 different tea leaves harvested from 7 continents that make up our sweet tea, and it's brewed in a specific way that I cannot tell you. And so we actually have to sign paperwork about it. And then just 2 general sides. And we have 9 different soups that we offer throughout the year that are pretty unique to us, and then huge custom salads, which are gorgeous salads like that. So we have pretty much food for everybody.
Sounds like the restaurant has got a hustle and bustle going today. I'm loving this. I'm starting to get you're okay. I'm starting to get a craving for some proprietary tea.
This is really embarrassing. I'm actually sorry about all the noise.
No,
it's great.
It's great. I just love hearing conduct business. Kind of going.
We have 3 huge catering orders. They just took 69 boxes back there to fill up with sandwiches for catering today. They're like moving, and they're like, "Could you hurry up?" Right.
Bill, let's just kind of go around the room here. One last couple of questions for you. How do you get the word out about your business? How do you do your marketing on social media or newspaper ads, or what do you do? Or word of mouth?
Well, it's been Newby Stall has mostly been word of mouth, is where our new business came from. For the Vineyard, obviously the Chamber, but the Rome News Tribune and Hometown Headlines have both been very interested in keeping up with the story and following us along as we progressed. Our web page is about to go live. Shannon my wife, I assigned that task to her, so I don't want to know how to build a web page, don't care. Delegated that. So Shannon is working with Romega Digital with Braden Keith and his group. So they've done a great job building the web page, which there'll be an online shopping area on that once everything's good to go, and there will be a Facebook page. I imagine Shannon will get to Instagram. I've never done an Instagram or tweet. I don't know how to use them, so she'll be in charge of that. But being downtown, having a tasting room downtown, I think will be a good bit of exposure. Also, we're members with Georgia Grown, so Georgia Grown will put up 4 roadside signs as you're coming into approaching Rome, letting people know that, hey, we do have a winery here in town as well. And in the future, I'm considering a mobile unit that could be taken to the farmers markets or to Chiaha, Ridge Ferry, any of the big festivals and events we have, tournaments.
And you might have mentioned this earlier. The Vineyard itself, you're over off Billy Pyle Road, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Off of Billy Pyle.
But soon to come will be the tasting room downtown as well, right on Broad.
Correct.
Hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Eliud.
And then we will be hiring also. As soon as I have a permit in hand, I can set a date. I will be hiring a tasting room manager and then probably 4 more staff also.
Love hearing that. Eliud, what is your guys' website or contact information? How can people get a hold of you?
Yes, our website is heymrfixit.com. And we are also on Facebook at Hey Mr. Fix It. And phone number is 706-728-7238.
And Allison, your contact information, social media, website, etc.
Yep, McAlister's Deli Rome for Facebook, and then McAlister's Deli has, of course, the huge corporate website that you can just pick the Rome location. And if anybody needs me, you can get me personally at 706-766-7660. If you call the main number for the restaurant, which I'm ashamed to tell you that I don't know, and hit 2, it'll come to the restaurant. If you hit 1, it'll come to my cell phone directly, which is what we have for catering. And Mr. Newby, I had a great deal of success using Just Indeed for our hiring. The Indeed people really came through for us and really did great for our hiring.
Okay, thank you.
And also, we have a great jobs page on the chamber website, so you can post your job needs there as well.
That's awesome. Do you mind to send me that information? Because I need to post it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Look at that, Jeannie. We're creating jobs on the podcast here.
What it's all about. Now, what's great is to have conversations like this, because when Allison has a need, she'll call Eliud. Billy will go into Mcallisters and talk wine with Allison and order lunch. I mean, it's just connecting all these people and resources. It's what we're all about. So,
and
make everybody's do their jobs more efficiently and, get to meet people in the process.
Yeah. And Thomas will have a glass of wine. So all is well. Well, I appreciate it so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, this has been a really good show. So that's Bill and Eliud and Jay and Allison and Thomas and Jeannie. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. As always, you've been listening to Rome Business Radio. I'm Roger Manus. We've been broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. Thank you for listening.